Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Provo, Utah, weighing in today at 232 pounds, Jim Dillon. His opponent today on Big Time Wrestling from Russia, weighing in at 236 pounds, Anestis Bresnik. Climbed the ladder of success in the ranks of professional wrestling and making their appearance here on our final bout of the day here on Big Time Wrestling. Able to get just a 1 count, Bresnik comes up on top.
Oh, watch your leg, watch your leg.
Jimmy Dillon in quite a predicament here. Let's see what he will try to do to break this hold.
Watch your leg.
Bresnik in control with the leverage now. Dillon reaches around behind, trying to grab that leg, trying to hook the leg of Bresnik. Now he will try to get his leverage. He's been unable to do it thus far. Our bout is in a stalemate. Dillon very near the ropes. Now this shows you what type of young man he is. Very near the ropes. He could easily break the hold by reaching up and hooking the rope. Now, but he hasn't done it so far. He elects instead to try to break the hold the right way. They're under the ropes now, and the referee in this case now must break the hold. Bresnik gets to his feet. He puts the boot to Jimmy Dillon. He comes around from behind and still has the young man in trouble. Bresnik stepped back. Now he's after Dillon. He has him in a headlock. Bresnik in a move grabs another side headlock now, and again he rakes those fingers across the eyes of Jimmy Dillon. Repeat performance by Bresnik. Jimmy Dillon trying to get his sight back now. He'll size up his opponent. Dillon grabs the headlock. And he puts a hard punch to the forehead now of Anestis Bresnik as time is running out here on our curfew match. Our final bout of the day, meaning that we are going the remainder of the time available here on this match. But time is running out. It is a curfew bout, and we are coming close to the end of our program today. Thus far, we've had no winner, ladies and gentlemen. Our bout is still underway, and we'd like to take this opportunity. The double teaming of the California Hells Angels, I would say, well, it's won them many bouts. They are so successful at it that it's hard to see it, even though it's before your very eyes. They have done much to put away this Arnold Skolin, pounding away, kicking him, choking him. In steps Hells Angel number 1. He rakes those fingers across the eyes of Skolin. In steps Jimmy Dillon. Oh, and he drives the Hells Angels' head right into that turnbuckle. Now another tag is made. The Hells Angels are in control now. And it happens just that fast, so fast. It's hard to keep up with these rough and rugged California Hells Angels. A body slam, he's up on, he's down. A 3 count could be, it is, and it's all over. And ladies,
been that long, you people know who I am. But more important, standing beside me is the all-Asian champion and the greatest attraction in professional wrestling today. And I want to issue fair warning to the wrestling fans and the wrestlers in particular in the Metroplex that I am preparing an onslaught into this area. You people may not like me, but you have to admit that what I tell you is the truth. And you are about to see something more devastating than anything than you have ever seen in the past. And I will go so far as to say something more devastating than anything that you can even imagine. And if there's the slightest doubt in your mind or anyone else's, I want you to focus your eyes on the television screen because you are about to see the greatest attraction in professional wrestling today. The wild man from the Sudan, remember the name, Abdullah the Butcher. The Butcher, the Butcher. That Abdullah the Butcher is coming. I can feel it coming from my toes right up through my body to the end of my fingertips. That little tingling. I can feel the beads of perspiration on the palms of my hand. Fritz von Erich, can you feel it? Are your palms damp? Jose Lothario, are the little beads of perspiration breaking out on your forehead? And how about you, Dusty Rhodes? Maybe some of that jiving that you've been laying on these people, it ain't going to get it anymore. Abdullah the Butcher is coming. You've seen the man, remember the name. Abdullah the Butcher. The Butcher, the Butcher.
You know, David, Gerald Briscoe is certainly going to have his hands full with the Black Ninja, but I'm excited about the prospect of coming here to Jacksonville to the Coliseum and teaming up with two magnificent athletes like yourself and your brother Kerry, and certainly Sweet Brown Sugar, Jack Briscoe, reputation is known worldwide. Mr. Jacksonville, I don't know who he is, and frankly, I don't care, but he's running in some awful fast company.
He sure is. I don't see how in the world they think for 1 minute they can beat us. My little brother Kerry, little brother I say, 260 pounds, solid beef. The biggest man in professional wrestling, the most muscular, probably the strongest of all of the wrestlers in professional wrestling is going to be on my team, and he can dance just as fast and just as hard as I can.
We're on a high in Jackson.
That's it, baby.
As an athlete, you were a very intense competitor, but I think you made a big mistake when you put all your eggs in one basket, challenging Wildfire Tommy Rich to the last match where it was obvious that you intended to go out there and destroy him and rid him from World Championship Wrestling forever, but you came up short. And now you're trying to salvage some degree of self-respect by challenging Abdullah the Butcher. You know, Buzz, I think you've made your second mistake because it's almost like jumping from the frying pan into the fire. Because standing behind me just returned from a very successful tour throughout Africa, where he is the African heavyweight champion and very proudly holding the trophy. We've been all waiting for this moment when the man that made James J. Dillon in a world tour some 3 years ago coming home to Atlanta, Georgia, coming home to World Championship Wrestling, and you, Buzz Sawyer, think because you made a tactical mistake in your match with Tommy Rich are going to try and steal the thunder, regain your prestige by challenging my black specimen? Buzz Sawyer, you're a bigger fool than I ever thought you were, and when Abdullah the Butcher gets a hold of you, he's going to chew you up in little tiny pieces.
I have tried to graft Ric Flair. Now every country in the world wants a piece of the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. So in the very near future, I've made it possible. I've allowed time in my schedule. The promotion over there has offered me fabulous amounts of money, and as we all know, J.J., Ric Flair thrives on money and cars and all the finer things in life that only being the world heavyweight champion can afford them.
You know, Rick, going to New Zealand, I had the privilege of being there a couple of years ago, not only one of the most beautiful countries in the world, but the caliber of wrestling competition has brought forth some of the current top contenders for your world heavyweight title. I'm talking about Ron Miller, who's the greatest athlete, the greatest wrestler certainly ever to come out of Australia. Mark Lewin, who is no stranger to you. You've seen him in the Orient, and he probably knows you better than any other wrestler in the world. He's in the greatest shape of his life. The young Samoan, Steve Aoki, who Steve Ricard broke into professional ranks, has become an international star in his own right. And, of course, Steve Ricard, New Zealand's own Steve Ricard, he's high on everybody's list of top contenders.
Well, let's look at it like this, J.J. You're an authority on New Zealand. I never have been there. But I'm looking forward to the opportunity. And one of the main things that makes Ric Flair go round and round is the top competition that he has to face day in and day out. New Zealand